budget.
I am so happy to be here and see some friends that I recognize meeting at conventions, and I am so proud of you that you stood up today in the gap. You know, I've been speaking at tea parties, and I have to say, people are standing up all over the state, and I'm really happy to see that. People are concerned. And like many of you, I'm concerned about education. In an upside-down economy, with upside-down mortgages and an upside-down educational system, our schools are in crisis. And as a teacher for over 30 years, teaching LA and Orange County gang members and in public schools, I know what to do to fix our schools. I know the issues that are out there that we need to look at. And the first one is we need to reduce the school dropout rate. California has a 50% dropout rate. LA County has a 60% dropout rate. One of the things I think we really need to look at is to bring back more vocational instruction again for those students who want to work right after high school. It's usually those who drop out that are the ones that have those kinds of skilled jobs that are there for them to stay in school. Whatever works.
A GED as well?
GED, yes. Also, we need to look at safe schools. Now, people always say, why do you say safe schools? I don't see the big deal. Well, when you've worked in high schools, like I have, and know that high schools are a very high crime rate area, and we had 2 police officers on our campus the last 9 years and had many lockdowns and bomb threats, etc. You know that safe schools are really an issue and why many kids don't attend school. But it's not just violence either. California is #1 in the nation with the worst bullying problem. And our current safe schools are, I have had dealings with before. If you Google my name, you would see that our names crossed in 2004. And Kevin Jennings, as the current safe schools are, I am concerned, would focus solely on the 4% of those who are bullied. When in fact there are a great and larger area of those who are bullied for political or religious reasons, or for being a nerd, or just for being a certain ethnic group. And I think we need a stronger focus on safe schools on California that focuses on all of the issues of bullying and gangs and everything that is involved. And many kids don't like to go to school after they've had violence. They'll want to change school, or they'll drop out rather than face the unsafe conditions. And the last 6-8 years of my teaching, I noticed that new young teachers would come in and half of them went out before the year was done because they just couldn't hang with it. They couldn't deal with the difficulties of teaching in the high school today. So I have a friend I've met, John D.F. Peters. You can look up her program and her strategy online. Just look up peters.com or petersprocedures.com. She's based in LA, and she has been working in the school districts there. And if you watch on the video, you can see the before and after of a teacher who's not functioning well with undisciplined students to the same class in 2 weeks that is functioning well with discipline, with what I call classroom etiquette, and the teacher is again teaching the curriculum. And so we have a problem with some teachers throughout the state that need some help in that area with at-risk students and those who are undisciplined. I believe that focusing on LA Unified first would be very beneficial to us. And I also believe if it were broken into mid-sized districts, that would benefit all of us throughout the state because they get a large degree of the education money. And they also have layers of bureaucracy. And if we broke them into mid-sized districts, it would bring more local control, closer interaction between the school and the community. So that's where I would start to focus. Now, some have asked me who are in other areas other than that district, well, how would that help us? Well, it would provide, for one, a model of how to work throughout the rest of the state, and it would also free up some money that could be used elsewhere. they really are mismanaged in that district. And there are other districts as well. From the last I read, LA was spending about 55% on administrative costs. Many only spend 10 to 15% on administrative costs. And their staff alone would fit in Dodger Stadium. So they are a large district. So that's a big issue. And then we need to make sure the curriculum is the type of curriculum that's going to meet the needs of our students. Our students need to know how to pass the CASE, the California High School Equity Test. Even though it's basically a 10th grade level exam, we have many students who can't pass it, who are failing. Now, what we did in our district was very successful. I'm from a national award-winning district with most improved student scores in the nation for the year that we won. And we have a great model there that I would take that experience and expertise to the state. But one of the things we did was provide tutoring after school for those who were failing English, math, or failing the CASE. Now, they have numerous times they can take it, starting in 10th grade. Usually 2 times a year, so they would have about 6 opportunities to take that exam. So there really is no reason that our kids should be dropping out or that they should be failing this exam because the opportunity is there. But what I'm hearing is it seems that where those kids need this help the most, they're perhaps not getting that tutoring or the kind of instruction that they need that's paced in a consistent program throughout their district that provides the education they need. We basically have a 2-track education system, the lower performing and the higher performing. And statistically, the lower performing schools get more money and have most of the minority students and the ELL students. And I have a credential for teaching ELL students. I speak a little Spanish, and I know what to do to help improve the scores for the minorities because that's been 80% of my population the last 15 years I taught.
What's the ELL?
That means English language learners. It used to be called English as a second language, but every 10, 15 years they changed the letters on it. So it's English language learner. It's usually English as their second language. And I believe English immersion is the successful program that we need. Thank you. We were a Title I school where I taught it was English immersion, so that demonstrates that that's the most successful model. After all, it doesn't really make any sense to learn in one language and test in another and expect the kids to pass. That's just logical. I mean, we all logically seem to know that. Also, I think it's real important that we provide quality administrators, teachers, and staff. For many years, people have said, oh, we just need higher quality teachers. Well, there is a correlation between successful schools and successful principals and administrators and district personnel. Our district personnel in the higher office with the air-conditioned rooms really were helpful to us. They set out a district-wide program that they started with English and then paced the programs and got the teachers teaching together consistently. It gave us a little more collaboration time and then added history and then science. And it has been a problem in the past when students go from one class to another, one city to another, or one state to another, that they might be now taking the material they took last quarter or last year. So every time that happens to a student, it puts them back. So we need to be more consistent. We need to have an overall plan that's going to bring success to our students. And I don't know, is this a group that